Invictus, my kings, and welcome to Total War Rome 2 Empire Divided Gallic Rome playthrough. Yes, today we'll be starting a new playthrough playing as Gallic Rome in the Empire Divided campaign for Total War Rome 2. What an introduction, what a mouthful. But yeah, today we will be playing as Gallic Rome, and that's basically that. We won't be playing as the main Roman faction just yet. That one's coming fairly soon, but for the time being we'll be trying out Gallic Rome, seeing how it goes. I haven't played Empire Divided in a while, so we'll see how things develop. But first things first, let's get peace with the Frankie. Let's demand some money from them. This will completely tank our diplomatic dependability, but it gives us some money, and it doesn't really matter. Where we are going, we don't need diplomatic reliability, that's for sure. Let's see, this army has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's recruit. Yeah, that should do it. That should do it. The initial setup for Gallic Rome it isn't really that important. Gallic Rome is one of those factions that's sort of relatively not easy to play, but it's not that difficult as long as you know a little bit what you're doing. But I'm running a couple of mods. As you can see, I'm running the from the unit card. I'm using the Restitutor Orbis unit pack, the Reskin. Then I'm using the Restitutor Orbis the icons for the soldiers. That's what I'm using. Then I'm using a no civil war mod, because I think it's one of the most annoying features in Total War Rome 2. And then I'm using a mod which allows the libraries to reduce corruption in your provinces. If you look at the tooltip, it does -1 corruption in your provinces, because I thought I'd try it out. It seems like an interesting enough mod that I'd be willing to try it out. I'm genuinely interested in what it does and how it performs. So yeah, for the time being I'll be using it. For this entire campaign I'll be using it. Let me just build up a bunch of these procurators, these procurator villas, because, well, it's useful to have these things, isn't it? We're probably gonna lose either Octoduris or Coria, or even Cambodanum here pretty soon, so let's not bother building them up. We're most likely gonna lose Octoduris to the Roman pretenders, so let's not even bother. Actually, instead of this, I'm gonna build another procurator's villa, simply because it's really useful in Empire Divided, even though I haven't played it in a while. This is what I remember it. I remember it being relatively useful, so let's build all these things up. Maybe actually I would use sanitation building in here, build consecrated ground here, maybe build a pit mine, and let's for the time being that should be good enough. Any interesting treaties? Can we get peace with the Alemanni? No, we can't. So let's go and crush them. That should be the Roman pretenders. Low. What about Rome itself? Low. Okay, so we'll have to go around and crush each and every single one of them. That's fine by me. So let's see about research. What exactly do we want to research first? We want to research something that gives us money here, this exact thing, but maybe we could go for assume power instead, or maybe even conscript Germanic soldiers. That's plus 10% melee defense skill. That's pretty useful, and seeing as though we'll be having to assault Bergium here in a short while, that might come in handy very, very soon. So let's go with that, and let's end turn. Oh, right, provinces. You forget about these things. So let's just use the tax edict everywhere, because an empire an empire divided, you tend not to have a lot of money for some reason. Things are just a little more expensive over here. And by the way, let's destroy this we don't need it. And yeah, that should be that. Over the end turn we should lose even more reliability, diplomatic reliability, that is, because yeah, there we go, they're going for Octodures, so we're gonna lose Octodures. Doesn't really matter. Oh, we didn't the Picts didn't put up a fight. Okay then, but we're gonna lose Octodures here. We could use this army to defend it, but I'd much rather or actually, could we? No, we'd probably get smushed. This army isn't nearly good enough. Yeah, never mind. So let's go like so. Rendezvous these two forces together. Yes, do something like this. Then this general can get disbanded. Let's recruit 3 more sword militias, and that should be good enough for that. And here the southern army. Oh, let's see, from which house is this general? Where do I find it exactly? Like this? Founded by Tiberius. Emblem. Can't really seem to find whether this guy is. This guy's part of our little entourage, but apparently he isn't. He's part of the Viri Gregi. Can we adopt him? No, we can't. Very sad, very sad. But Caius. Let's see, is Caius available? No, apparently not. We don't have any. Oh, there we go. Naius. Here is this Caius Tetricus. But whatever. I think I just don't understand the way these things work. So let's just keep the current guy that's in charge right now. Let's recruit a bunch of sword militia, because that's gonna come in handy. And let's build an aqueduct over here. That should do us relatively well. We're probably gonna lose Octodures, as I said, but that's completely fine. Whatever. We're just with this, with the main guy, with the Emperor, with Tetricus. We're just going to, no, not this band, upgrade. We're just gonna crush Bergium, then sweep down south, and with this southern army, we're gonna march on into Genoa and the Mediolanum and so forth. It's going to be relatively simple. My strategy isn't all that complex. Here we go. Now, here we go. The Caledonia I have. So let's enter war. Actually, no. Let's decline. Let's not bother with any sort of just defensive. Doesn't matter. We lost the settlement. Oh well. But let's not bother with any sort of allies. I'm sort of not interested in having allies or puppets. It doesn't really matter to us at all. You know, you can see the Alemanni on the move, but that's no matter. We're just going to march on to Bergium and capture it. Here at the beginning of every Empire Divided campaign, you tend to lose a settlement or two as the Romans, no matter which Romans you're playing. Maybe as Palmyra you don't. But well, in my experience, at least with the actually, I really want to replace this guy. Replace House of Tetricus. There we go. Bam. Sure. Yeah, because we don't want any sort of influence from the other houses. We don't want any influence from the other houses, but yeah, what was I talking? Oh yeah, in Empire Divided, you tend to lose a couple of settlements here at the beginning. It happens every time. It doesn't really matter. It's just whatever. From Octodures, they don't have a clear shot, and I think they should have a little bit of a bother with the actual Roman faction, the Aurelian Roman faction. So we'll see how things go. Sometimes the Aurelian Roman faction holds Norea for quite a while. Sometimes they immediately lose it to the Marcomanni. We'll see how they handle themselves. They tend to do quite badly, so I'm not really all that bothered. In essence, the Gallic Romans tend to do the best. So we'll see. We'll see how I perform with Gallic Rome. Hopefully we'll do a pretty decent job, eh? But let's build up some more enclosed land. So we have a food surplus. And apparently we gained a rank. So let's immediately use the veteran to upgrade our own troops. And as we slowly march on to Bergium, that's going to be very useful. Oh, okay, so it seems like the Roman pretenders are actually going to march north. Okay, we're very well. We are going to simply build up an army over here very quickly. Let's hire some mercenaries. And that should do the job for the time being. We have quite a few units of reinforcements, so that should do the job. Let's also start recruiting, and that should be fine with Tetricus himself. Let's march on to Bergium, and it's completely undefended. I was hoping we'd have a cool battle, but it appears like the Alemanni army sort of went south and then went north, and whatever. Let's just auto-resolve. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a battle, but looks like we won't be having. One faction destroyed. Alemanni, very nice. And yeah, let's what this is on. Okay, so mining. Okay, plus campaign movement range, definitely. Okay, so the Alemanni are dealt with. That means that this army can stay here for a couple of turns and then march south and retake Octodurus. This army over here can won't be able to recruit a full stack, but we could get Gallic mercenary bowmen, so let's get some bowmen and then march on to Genoa. Alright, researching technologies. Let's get 300. Let's get 300 from the Imperial Treasury, and let's see what the Roman pretenders do. They marched off. They marched south. Okay, very good for us. Very good for us indeed. These guys still unhappy. What if I reduce taxes? Actually, this army over here can make its way up to Bergium, and this army over here can make its way up to Octodurus. With this army, we can march in Genoa and capture Genoa. Or Genoa? It should be Genoa because that's where the city of Genoa originates, right? With Genoa. Yeah, let's get unclosed lands. Why not? Why not? And with this army also, let's get campaign movement range and security against agent actions. With this army over here, again, let's upgrade our units. That should do us fine. It should do us fine. Well, we are making our way in the world, aren't we? Okay, so now the Roman pretenders are marching all over the place, but it seems like banditry unrest, yeah. It seems like they're going here. What do they have? A bunch of Roman legionaries, and they are here. Why? I don't know. But it doesn't really change the course of things. We're still going to march on Octodurus. They're probably going to capture Coria, which is relatively unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter at all. We will sweep down south no matter what. This army, actually this army, could we march back just to secure? If they manage to put Massalia under siege, then this army will have to move back, but I don't think they're gonna do anything of this sort. Let's just capture Mediolanum. While they're distracted moving their little soldiers around, we're going to capture We're gonna capture their strongholds very swiftly and resolutely. And very easily, might I add. Very easily. We still haven't faced any major opposition. So, that's fine. That's more than fine, in fact. If they really want to swerve around and do not much of anything at all, then they can be my guests. But, well, here we go. They're actually going for Bibrakte. They ended a trade agreement with me. Okay, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Settlement under siege. Bibrakte. This army, can it... No, it should... We should go just for Octodures. Just as we planned. And this army over here, maybe we could make our way towards this little army. Yes, we made our way towards them, but we can't engage with them because they ran away. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So whether Bibrakte falls or not doesn't really matter. These soldiers, we could stand somewhere where we don't take attrition. That would be very nice. And yeah, so Bibrakte, whatever. Whether it falls or not doesn't really matter. Oh, but we're losing quite a bit of money over here. So let's get rid of these mercenaries over here. There we go. That fixed the issue. And maybe we can now try taxing the province. No, they're still unhappy. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Maybe the banditry had something to do with it. Maybe the siege of Bibrakte is what's causing our money issues. They still haven't gone for it, so the army of the Emperor is probably gonna have to relieve that siege. There we go. Let's go forward, and this army over here can... No, we can't, but another attack will do the deed. No reason to fight this battle, and let's enslave captives. Very nice. And now let's make our way. Maybe this army itself can go for Octodures. And everything seems to be going relatively fine for the time being. Let's get the should we get the library? Or actually, growth in our provinces would be very good, but what also would be very good is the attack skill for all infantry units and charge bonus for all infantry units. Yes, that's going to be very useful. We're still operating with very low tier units, so we want them to be as good as possible, obviously. And they still haven't done anything with Bibrakte. They put it under siege with very few units, and now they're just sitting around doing nothing. Surrender imminent. Yeah, we'll relieve the siege here momentarily. And now let's destroy their armies. Army destroyed. Very nice. Let's enslave. Very cool. Very cool. And that should deal with the issue of them running around and being annoying. Then this army can turn around and head towards Octodures. This army, oh, there we go. Norea has been lost by the Romans to the Marcomanni. They tend to lose that settlement, and also Dacia has been lost. But they've gained Pisco, so maybe they'll pull out a win. But they have gone for Sicily instead. Very interesting. You would think that you would have the best time invading from Apollonia towards Brundisium, but they decided that that's not the way that they want to go. So yeah, well, whatever. It's their choice. But this army will go towards Patavium, whatever, however you pronounce it. Should we start taxing this province already? Yes, we can. Okay, very good. And we are again making a little bit of money. A little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. We should maybe try... what do we try doing? We should probably start upgrading the main settlements, but they are expensive. So instead, let's find... actually, over here, cattle trader would be pretty good since we have the wine. Or is it a wine? No, it's an olive. It's an olive grove, so that would be very useful. That would be very useful indeed. But as you can see, we are making our way in the world steadily and boldly, might I add. We have already captured Mediolanum. We are way on our way to capture Batavium. We're gonna recapture Octodures here. And the Roman pretenders, they had a few armies here at the beginning, but it seems like they aren't really bringing their best and brightest against us. We are very swiftly marching through their lands and recapturing everything that they have. Well, to be fair, their position isn't the best because they are sort of smushed between Gallic Rome and Rome itself, but they have access to some of the richest Spartan endeavors. No, we definitely want the money. Definitely want the money. And then we should go for Rome restored, because we are gonna very shortly here capture Rome. So Rome restored is going to be very useful. There we go. Capture Octodures, and shit, maybe I should have raised it because we have a Mithrite community. But, well, from entertainment, doesn't really matter for the moment. For the time being, we'll leave it be. After a while, we'll dismantle all of these cults. But let's capture Batavium here. Easy peasy, raise, and let's do something like this. Yep. And I think that's it for part 1. We've managed to secure quite a foothold in Germania, managed to occupy northern Italy, managed to push back the various invading small stacks from the Roman pretenders. Unfortunately, we haven't yet faced a battle. I was hoping that in Bergium, sometimes, because I've played in the past, I've played Gallic Rome a little bit, and what I've seen happen is that the Alemanni just keep a force around Bergium defensively, so I thought we'd have a nice offensive attacking siege battle, but that didn't happen. Instead, we danced around with the Roman pretenders for a little bit. But yeah, well, anyway, thank you Kings for watching, and I will see you next time.